All right, it's Tuesday morning. It's the first day back to school after a 3-day weekend, so we're ready to get going and get back to school to the little ones there, waiting for me there. So last night I put on a post about Charlie not having to live up to my expectations, and I guess I'll continue on that a little bit because this morning was a little different as well. There's a certain way our mornings do tend to go, and they didn't go that way this morning. It wasn't a disaster or anything like that. It wasn't one of those mom meme mornings where you have like women with their hair like and they're trying to get to work and the kids are crazy. It wasn't anything like that. It's just every morning I nurse him right before I go to school, and I had, you know, it in my mind how I was going to do that if I had to send him to daycare, but I don't send him to daycare. My mom went out of work right before I had the baby, and getting back to why did this happen to her and everything for my first post when I said that, but one of the good things that happened when she became no longer able to work anymore was that she stays home with Charlie. I leave Charlie with her. And that's amazing, and he's getting that one-on-one right now. You know, because there were, as hard as it is to find care for babies under 2, I had found care, and then I ended up not needing it, which is fine because that means that spot can go to somebody else who does not have the freedom as I do to depend on family, and I know how lucky I am. But usually I nurse him right before I go to work, and he's all excited and he's distractible, and I have a hard time. He keeps popping on and off, and I have to keep relatching him because he's just and playing with his hand, and his hand still blows his mind 7 months later. But today he just kept nursing and nursing and nursing, and his eyes closed, and I was like, oh no, don't do this. And I kept like trying to wake him up, and he was just relaxing, and his hands were like coming loose, which means he's getting very relaxed. And he fell asleep on me, and I kept trying to like stand up and, you know, like wake him up, and he kept crying, so I kept relatching him, and he kept falling asleep. And I finally said, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna have to just put him back down to sleep, and not get him dressed and take him to his walker and let him, you know, start getting ready for his day. I guess I'm not gonna have that moment with him where my phone is slipping here. I guess I'm not gonna have that moment with him where I get to play with him on his changing table. But you know what? That's okay, because that's what Charlie was doing this morning. He was relaxed, and I didn't get to play with him on his changing table, but we did have this, he feeling so, you know, relaxed in my arms, and just the nursing and just being there present in the moment with him. And I think sometimes we forget about that as parents or as people, to just be present in the moment, especially with your children. And I had to sort of reframe my mind, you know. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not getting what I want. I'm not getting what I'm used to with my daily routine. But let me just stop, and let me just let him nurse a little longer. I have the time. If I decide that I'm not going to play with him on his changing table and get him dressed, if I just say, you know, ask my mother if she'll get him dressed later. And we just sat there a little bit longer in the rocking chair, and I just rubbed his little head. And, you know, so my morning did not live up to my expectations for what a morning should look like, but it was what we needed, I guess, this morning. And I think I appreciated that. And I'm going to try to remind myself of that. Like, what can I appreciate about this? This isn't the way I wanted it to be, but this is the way Charlie needs it to be. What can I appreciate about what we're doing here? So, all right, well, that was my morning, and I really don't think I have anything else to say today. Just, you know, I appreciated a moment in time with my baby this morning, you know, after I reframed my thoughts on what it should look like. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next post. Bye.